Stephen Kearns joins you on the line. Mr. Kearns, good morning to you.
How are you, Keith?
Good, thanks for joining us today, and thanks for stepping out. I know you're busy. What's your interpretation? Had you any more hope than you had going into that meeting, coming out of it?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose from our point of view, what we wanted to hear was that there was a multifaceted plan being put in place. So immediately that we were going to get some form of temporary theatre solution so that we can start working again immediately. And then, as Hildegard Nachton had said, that we would have a plan in place to develop service here for the future. So not just for current need, but also anticipating future need. But all of this needs to happen in a way, perhaps, that these things traditionally have not happened, and that we actually need this to happen really fast.
But I mean, modular coming in is fantastic, but it's going to take time, and every week that ticks by and every day that ticks by, 8 to 10 people are not getting treated.
Oh no, it's 60 people a week who aren't getting treated, Keith. It's not 10.
No, a day. 8 to 10 people a day are not being treated. As every day goes by, there's 8 to 10 more people not being treated.
If we don't get the theatres till January, we're talking about 700 people. If we don't get the theatres till the summer, it's the guts of 1,500 people.
Can I ask an stupid question of you? And maybe I'm just thick on a Thursday morning. Why in the name of God can the leak not be fixed temporarily and then do a grand plan for that area?
Well, they've done an engineer's report on it, Keith, and the problem is that it's a flat roof, and anyone who lives in Galway knows flat roof in Galway is a challenge. It's a roof. It's not a shed. It's an operating theatre. So to fix the roof to a standard where there's absolutely no ingress of water, we actually need good weather, which again is not an easy thing to guarantee in Galway. And they need probably 3 or 4 months. So even if they can fix the roof, we still have a situation where we're looking into 2018. Furthermore, on top of that, those theatres, as I outlined with you before, were built in 1954.
Yeah.
And the only money that was spent on them was in 1990. They are not of a contemporary or modern standard, and essentially have been condemned by our colleagues in microbiology. So we have a situation where this is the straw on the camel's back. These theatres have reached the end of their natural lifespan, and in an attempt to upgrade them, they actually got finished off by the works done on the roof.
So the new air conditioning units was the straw that broke the camel's back?
Well, that's when the leak started. Yeah. I'm not an expert in roof works or engineering or any of those things, but you put 2 and 2 together. So when the roof works were done to put in that new air conditioning system and cooling system for the theatres, the leak started.
So effectively what you're saying to me is even if they fix the roof, the theatres are not fit for purpose. So you actually need new facilities, whether the temporary modular ones or otherwise. You need them to continue to work within Merlin Park.
I think anyone who's been in Merlin Park will know the staff are amazing. As a resource to Galway, it's an amazing resource, as Deputy Nachton has said. It has been, Minister Harris himself and everyone at the table acknowledged yesterday that it has had no investment whatsoever in the last 50 years, essentially. So, I mean, Roscommon got a new A&E, various other builds on the UCHG site, but nothing has happened in Merlin Park. And it needs to happen, and it has to be a priority for the Celtic Group to re-establish an orthopaedic unit that is super regional, so essentially deals with everyone from Donegal down to Limerick and across to the Midlands.
So to be honest, in my opinion, then looking at this cold and clinically, the modular system from the UK is the only one, and I've seen those. I mean, they're of very high quality. They're a temporary measure. They're a very high quality, but that's what you need.
But and the Minister has agreed with that, and as of the HSE yesterday, I mean, I have to compliment Deputy Nachton in getting us a meeting with the Minister, and I have to compliment the Minister in that he was very understanding and very supportive of our position. So in the reality is the nuts and bolts of the actual process are the only thing slowing us down now.
Well, that process has got to be short-circuited. I'll let you back into surgery.
It will probably take, and I'm not naive with regard to that, but it comes back to when are we going to plan for this? The A&E is a top priority. We know that 100,000 has been allocated for that with regard to the design phase and planning, and that of course is a priority. But if we stay looking at ad hoc, piecemeal, short-termism view with regard to the healthcare needs, not only of Galway but for the entire region, we're going to still be picking up the pieces. Merlin Park, the fact that this roof leaked, it just shows that there was no long-term vision. This is a 1950s TB unit, and it's really the lack of vision is coming back to haunt us now. I know this is going to take years, but do we wait for 10 years and have the next generation say, why didn't people back in 2017, 2018 have a plan in place? So there is an options appraisal taking place. That has been carried out by Pat Nash and the Sale to Hospital Group, and that is part of this vision. Nobody is for one second saying that the A&E isn't a priority. Of course it is. But if we don't have a long-term plan as well, if you go into any business, any company, that's how the world works. You won't get any funding from any department if you don't have a plan. And that's where I'm coming from, and I think that's where most Oireachtas members are coming from. And that's, I know, where Pat Nash and the clinicians, 196 clinicians, signed a letter to the Minister for Health saying that we need a future plan for Galway in the West,
and that plan has been worked on.
800,000 plus people who are using our services.
I have to leave it there, but thank you for joining us. Hildegarde Naughton joining us on the line there.